What's up?
What's up? What's going on?
Friday. What it is?
Happy Friday, everybody.
Hey. I'm gonna cry out today. Come on.
Yeah, I do too. Let me tell you something, Joe. This week has been a trying week for me, and it seems like everything's been going crazy, as well as not feeling too well. But today is the first day.
Come on.
6 days, I've been feeling good all day long.
Yes, sir. That's how it was last Friday.
I promise you.
Come on.
I feel
That's
good.
how it was. But welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Conversation Podcast. A new name, but the same conversation. What it is.
Yeah.
We are so excited that you guys decide to come and join us.
Woo! Yeah, we got a special guest on tonight. As we didn't get a chance to announce, but this season, which is January, as we already know, this is the beginning of a new year. So we talking about making changes.
Come on,
habits.
Change.
That we take on this year and the year after. Yeah, changes. You know, my mind just went to a good old gospel song. You know what I'm saying? Change. This is an old 70s song.
I don't know that. All I know is the R&B version. You know me.
Well, you know I'm churchy, so that's all I know. Like so churchy, it is okay. It's okay.
Before we get to talk about these changes, what we need y'all to do for us, we need y'all to like, we need y'all to share, and we need you to subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you will get a notification every time we upload a video. We need you to come on here, say your name, say what's up, and where everybody is. Hey, Bishop, the first one on the thing, and thank you so very much.
Love you,
Bishop. We love our new platform too. Yes. Please come on. Make sure you say something. Y'all be lingering in the background. We need y'all to come out and say something. Show some sign, as the saint said.
That's right. Show some signs.
Show some sign.
This is what we need. Oh, you got the juice.
You got
the juice.
Bishop, I'm telling y'all, Bishop on that. Oh, yes, sir. He said, I got the juice. And you know what? I'll be sipping. I've been sipping in the Lord. Y'all don't know. I almost didn't come on because I was over there going round and round with the Lord. It was me and him. So I am a little hyped. I ain't gonna say forgive me because this is just what it is. I'm hyped up.
Absolutely. And I'm with you. I am with you. Today, y'all, I really have to apologize to you all. We usually have a commercial to play, and there was some technical difficulties. There was a lot of static in it. And so I couldn't adjust anything the way I need to, but I got y'all next week. So I know I got 2 people that I'm highlighting in our free shout out on our podcast. And look, we do apologize to you all for those difficulties, but as you already know, I'm new to a lot of stuff, so I'm learning how to do this sound thing and how to cut, edit, and all that.
You're doing a great job, brother.
I tell you,
you are doing an awesome job. And for all y'all people, I don't know which line y'all on. Don't start with the Friday the 13th. We do not operate under any superstitions up in here. So may your day be as normal. Come on, we as normal.
You know what? I was thinking about that, and that's the funny part about it. I was like, you know what? This is Friday 13th. Not that I believe in that, but
Right.
a lot of people that's going to
They
be
do.
differently.
They don't realize they sort of manifest bad things to happen because they already got this in their mind, and whatever you think,
Right.
what the Bible say. The Bible say, whatsoever a man thinketh,
And it's
so
hard.
is he. So if you wake up and your energy is like, oh Lord, it's Friday. Same thing about Monday. Don't go into Monday
Uh-huh.
with the oh Lord. You gon' rectify and make oh Lord manifest.
But
So that's what we doing. We changing.
we changing. Talking about rec.
Mhm.
That's right.
Come on, rectify. All
I'm a
with the
firm
new.
believer. I'm a firm believer that you, like you said, manifest. I'm just gonna repeat what you just said.
Mhm.
Have the ability to create and recreate our atmosphere.
Yes.
So we have to be careful what we think in our hearts and what we express outwardly. And so I'm a firm believer of
Yes.
that. So let's be careful about the seeds that we sow because they gonna
Mhm.
I really
Ooh.
rap right there. You hear that?
Come on, bars. Come on, he
Bars.
cares
Yeah,
about
your
the
brother
season.
got bars.
Baby, that baby got bars. Like he been hanging around me, baby. He getting them bars. But
Man.
speaking of seed, that's what we coming on here to talk about today.
Yes, man. We have a guest. As y'all already know, this is money talk. So we're gonna be digging deep into negative habits that we have manifested throughout the years. And you know what, Joe? It's not even a fault of our own. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
Certain things has been passed down to us unintentionally through our
Yeah.
parents, and we was unaware. I'm a first one to
Some
admit.
things were what they say, the old people say, some things was a learned behavior, other thing was a taught.
And we learned it.
Mm.
we we definitely learned it, and
With a
I
T, learned.
learned learned it. Yes, learned it. So like Joe said earlier, please shout us out where you from. If you listen to it, just say something to us. Okay, so we're gonna shout you out. We won't put you on blast, something like that.
We ain't gonna do it to you, but we say throw your hands in the air and wave them like it just don't care you. Hey, if you ready to rock with Conversation Podcast, everybody say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
where is our DJ? Pump, 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 pump. Where you at, DJ?
Hold on. I don't know which number. I need to put these names on this pass. I tell you. I need to put these names on these
Come
pass.
on, Mr.
A
DJ.
horn, cuss word, uh, heartbeat. It really ain't a cuss word. It's just the
It's
thing.
bleep. Just bleep.
Yeah, I told a preacher friend he's supposed to be on here next month, and I was messing with him. I said, "Look, I said every time you say a word, I'm gonna hit the bleep button. They're gonna think you're cussing." Man, please don't do that to me. I said, "I'm gonna do that just to stir some up."
You gonna have him buke.
I'm mine. The sick's gonna be upset. Like what the preacher. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to change the color of my background. It's supposed to be purple, but this joker is pink back here.
Yeah, look, it's giving baby pink to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Getting pink. Baby shark do 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 do. All right, y'all. This is about to be good. We don't want our guest any longer. She is in the background. I'm telling you all. Look, I got to talk about like my family. I'm not bragging. God has really blessed us, Joe, like with talented people. And we don't have to go far at all.
Mm-hmm.
Dig deep into finding information, inspiration, all of that. Because sometimes people want to reach back and get like all the well-known people, and we think we know
Mm-hmm.
everything. But let me tell you, we have within our family some of the best knowledgeable people in the world. I promise you, they can either sing us into a space, preach us into a space, or they can teach us out of a space.
Ooh,
And
don't we got the
night,
fivefold ministry?
mind what you
Don't
said.
we got it?
Look, and they operate on every mountain. That's what I'm talking about.
Come on, the seven mountains. Come
Seven mountains.
on.
They operate in it. And so it is my pleasure to invite to the Conversation Podcast as she beat us up about our bad habits, about our bad spending habits. We want to invite. Oh, I did something wrong. I did something wrong. I put, I put that in the background. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I do this woman right. I promise you. Make sure I do it right. Do it right. Yeah. Um, it's uploading quick, y'all. It's uploading quick. All right, so we bring to the conversation podcast Miss Sharonda Williams. Come on, let's give her emoji hand clap. Don't ask me where my button is because I can't find it.
Woo! Let me clap for the people in the
What's
back.
up?
What's going
up?
on?
How y'all
going on?
doing?
We hyped up.
I
Yeah.
see y'all got me back here. I'm just sitting. Like I want to be hyped too.
We hyped because everything new, everything, including our finances, baby.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
getting everything new. We getting it together.
Man, yes. Sharonda, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing
Good.
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 You and Joe on here looking so amazing. I got this regular t-shirt on and I'm just looking.
Well,
I should have put on my collar shirt or something like so
yeah,
I
you
can,
all right.
you know. So.
Come on, the people on here already.
You
That's
all
my
right. You all
baby.
right. Hey, mama.
Yeah.
That's my mama, y'all.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite cousins. I tell everybody this. I said I got cousins that old enough to be my aunties and uncles. And they're just facts for me.
Yeah.
Man, how the babies doing?
Good. Grown. They are so grown. You want one?
You know what?
Two. You take both of them.
Well, I'll take them. I love children.
They
I
potty
do.
train. They feed themselves. They clothe themselves. You just have to. You just have to listen to drums 24/7. But other than that,
Hey, you know what? That won't bother me because I like music.
oh,
So-
okay. Well, hey,
My child, he used to live with me, so he can't help.
you in the game, man.
Look, Sharonda, Jonisha will bust out singing 3 o'clock in the morning.
She came on singing and rapping, so I
Hey, I'm trying to be like Jay Lake when I grow up. Come on, give me some soul. What it is, Jay? What's going on?
I'll tell you, man. I'm like, look at here, girl, folk, man. Just she starts singing. Then next time I hear some speaking in tongue, like, oh Lord, there she go.
Baby, because I'm called into and out of the ecclesia. I do both.
I hear you. Then 6 o'clock in the morning, she mad because she don't want to be.
Don't tell all my business on this show. We supposed to be talking about finances.
right.
Oh,
We're like,
we're gonna talk about finance. We're gonna talk about finances. You know, it's cool. So, this is a new year, and we're coming out of 2022. And I thought would be a great topic because majority of us we start off our new year in debt because of Christmas, and I guess we start shopping about October-ish. So we try to prove to our family we love them, so we buy all these elaborate gifts and all that. So I thought it would be a good topic to talk about finances, how to break bad habits, saving money, 401ks, all that type of stuff. And it was funny. Like I heard some stuff this week that I didn't know existed. And don't ask me what it was, but it was some finance information about, I'm looking like, well, why did I know about this earlier?
And
Like-
apparently you still don't know. You said don't ask
he
me.
told me he don't know what's going on.
What happened was I was at work and you know how you put on a tutorial and you listen to stuff.
Right.
Right.
And, usually I try to write stuff down if I'm sitting down, but I wasn't sitting down. I was just listening. I'm like, I paused for a minute. Like, what? Things like that. So starting off, bad habits was formed by some of our parents and grandparents. They unintentionally passed those things down to us. They didn't know any better. Most of us come from certain backgrounds, especially African American community, and some of our Caucasian communities. We grew up poor, so we did what we had to do to maintain to survive. And we didn't know anything about credit. We just did what we did until you try to run your credit score and you got a 300.
Yeah.
The old folks said buy everything with cash. You don't use no cheddar charge.
They did, and cheddar charge. I remember when I was trying to get a credit card, and they said me like, "We can't give you nothing because your credit score 300."
Ooh,
So I
300.
said, "Can it go that low?"
It was low,
Yeah.
baby, low.
Yes.
Yeah.
So walk us through how to establish um financial freedom. I know that's a broad question, but where
It
can we
is.
start?
It is. And let me first say, because I like what you said about we our behaviors, it's because nobody knew, and it's kind of like a generational thing. It's passed down, the not having the knowledge, and I think that's the reason why that so many of our generations are lacking in saving, lacking in credit, because we simply don't know. And I think that we have to start that early, at an early age, like starting with our kids, whether it be junior high, high school, college, because I'm 36 years old, and there are things I know now that I wish I would have known when I was 26 or when I was 16. So I
Mm-hmm.
think the key is making sure that the younger generation knows about credit, because only thing that we were taught growing up is don't get a credit card.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know why. That's just like if you tell a kid, okay, well, don't touch the stove. And if you tell them don't touch the stove, and they ask you why, because I said so. Well, that's not really an answer. Don't
Right.
touch the stove because it's hot, it will burn you.
Mm-hmm.
So going into giving, saying, hey, this is why you shouldn't do this, or whatever, just saying because I said so, that's not a good answer. So we go and get a credit card because, well, they didn't tell me why, so obviously it won't harm me that bad. So we still go and do it. But no one told us, oh, if you get a credit card and you don't pay it, it's going to stop you from getting a car. It's going to stop you from getting a house. It's going to stop you
Mm-hmm.
from maybe even getting a job. So I think that the focus should be hitting the younger generations first. But the key, I think, to establish, and let me also say this before I get into the disclaimer. We're not here to judge anybody. We're not here to criticize. So if you have questions, if it's something you don't understand, please feel free to chime in, because as I put on my Facebook, it's each one teach one. You're
Mm-hmm.
learning from me, and I'll be learning from you as well. So what I'm not perfect with saving, I'm not perfect with credit, but what I know, I'm willing to share that with you guys. So I think the first thing as far as credit is really just understanding how credit works,
Right.
because there's so many components to credit outside of just a credit score.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a lot of people don't really understand, is credit is more than a credit score. A lot of times people will say, well, what does my credit score have to be to get this or to get that? Well, it's not just a number, it's components, it's factors, it's debt to income ratio, it's in how much debt you have compared to how much money you're bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
It's also, how many lines of credits do you have? It's also how long have you had credit? Because just think about it. Let's just say someone comes to you and wants to borrow money from you. How likely are you going to give them money if you don't know if they can pay you back? So that's how credit works.
Mm-hmm.
Credit determines your credit. It determines if you know you go part. If you try to go buy a car, they look at things you paid these other people in the past. So a lot of people don't know, but no credit is worse than bad credit,
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Yes.
and that's because you don't have anything established. So you're new, so nobody really knows anything about you. So the first thing I think to getting started with credit is, and I don't know if you guys know this, but you all can put children as authorized users on credit cards. I don't know if anybody knew that.
No.
Unfortunately, because a lot of kids grow up and can't get things because their
Right.
parents have put the lights in their name and credit
Hmm.
cards in their name and didn't pay it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But our culture, we do that. But the other culture, they do it for the good, which
Yes,
is adding their kids so that when their kids turn 18, they already have established credit. So
that's so
they can
smart.
go and finance their own car, or they
Mm-hmm.
can go and do everything they need to do at the age of 18. Whereas when our children turn 18, they can't get anything because we done messed it up when they was 13. So the thing of it is, we have to use the resources in a positive way. So the first thing to that is put your kid on a card, and depending on what type of card it is, it determines the ages. A lot of cards may say 13, a lot of them 16. It just really kind of depends on the card itself. But that's how you really get your kids started with credits, adding them as an authorized signer. And then once they turn 18 and you use the card like you're supposed to use the card, then they're kind of already set up. But for those of us that have went down the path of bad credit and trying to rebuild, that's hard also. So the steps into trying to rebuild is just making sure that we're paying those items on our credit. And if you have something in collections, try selling it out so that you can get it off of your credit after you pay it. Another thing that you may want to look into would be like secured credit cards. Those, I know income tax season is coming. So if you don't really have good credit, can't get a credit card, you can go get a secured card. Put $300 on it. That's just like a regular credit card. That's going to help you, build your credit. So there are many, many different factors and components of credit that I think that the thing is first understanding how it really works and knowing each component of credit.
That's so good. I was thinking back, I worked for a financial company for 3 years, and I really learned at that point, and we most of the time would advise 18-year-olds just getting out of college, as long as they worked a certain amount of time, to get a small loan and pay it back, and keep accruing in that way. But I find most of the time, going to these checking the cash places and different things of that nature, they're not realizing, especially what would hurt my heart the most is the older people would put their whole checks and get these checks in cash, and by the time they go to pay it, it took their whole check, so they had to retake it back out, and it was just a perpetuating cycle. And so one of the things I was thinking about when you said just being taught, a lot of the older people, I don't even know, they don't have savings account. They bosom is they savings account. They got money folded. I know my grandma, she folded up money. It's like a little tiny dot of paper. And when you unfold, it's $100 bill. I'm like, where this come from? She just got money hidden everywhere. And they don't realize when you can put it into a savings account, it can accrue interest, all that kind of stuff. I just think, people like you are so vital. The information that you do know, the little information that I found out by working in those spaces, really helped me to, get my credit. Darn, what you say, 300?
300. 300.
Get it up from there in that space, from being in a financial coma, baby. Because you was in financial coma, you at 300. I'm just saying.
Oh, I did not know, like, really, like, how important it was to make sure that your bills were paid on time. It's like I was paying it as I had it. And sometimes in that particular space, I didn't pay it because I wanted to do something else with my money. That's being so, especially in the space between 25 and 30-ish. When I was trying to club and stuff. So let me go get my feet first.
Not club.
Yeah.
Did that take a whole bill though?
I mean, you trying to look fresh, so whatever you spend, But as I matured, I realized that was at the time I was living in Jackson. That was JEA money. That was town and country money. That was those places. So I had to learn, I had to build up from there. And what she said, I'm just now learning from talking about debt to income ratio. That's what you said, right? So I'm just now learning about that because I got my first credit card in so many years. And so they hit me up like, you got to be over this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'm so confused.
Yeah, it's confusing. And honestly, the only reason why I know as much is because I've been working in it for so long and I've learned along the way. But that's what I say. It's so confusing. Like it's so easy to mess up, but it's so hard to fix it. And so that's why I think I really wish that a lot of schools and things like that taught classes on it, because it's important. Like, no, like, you don't understand, like, for jobs, like my job, for different jobs, like, you have to have certain credit scores, you have to have certain, a lot of these jobs won't even hire you if you're credit, because they feel like you're not trustworthy.
All right.
You know, so a lot of these jobs won't hire you. So it's so important. And I really wish that there was something. And so that, you know, that was taught so that, you know, these generations would know and they don't end up like us when we 30, 35 years old trying to fix a 300 or 400 credit score. So that's very important.
It is. And we already got a question. Check this out.
Okay.
Jace Knight asked the question, what is the quickest way to be financially free? Is there a quick way?
It's not. And it really just depends on your financial situation.
Mm.
Like it's that's such a broad question because everybody's situation is different. You know, if you're living from check to check, it's not a quick way. You know, it's now if you have a bunch of debt, the quickest way, what I've always heard is what they call snowball, is you take the smallest one, you tackle the
Mm-hmm.
smallest one first, and then you go to the big, you knock that one down, you go to the next one, you go to the next one. So, you know, and that's the thing, that's just like what I just said, you know, it's so quick to get into debt. Like we probably need a $10,000 credit card and go spend that up in an hour. But to get $10,000 out of debt, how long is that gonna take us?
Forever. It feels like
Exactly.
forever.
Exactly. So, you know, there's really not a quick way, you
I
know.
think what you just said something and it sparked something in me. We're having a conversation about it. I think that's the biggest thing because I know a lot of creditors call me and baby, I be like speaking no English, you know, hanging up the phone.
Yeah,
Baby,
yeah.
have a conversation because most of the time when she's talking about the snowballing, that's how I got my credit up, paying things little by little. But I
Right.
had a conversation and I just let them know what I could and could not pay, what my budget looked like. And most
Mhm.
of the time, they will
They
conform to
will.
your budget.
They
Now, if
will.
you dodging and ducking and changing your number, and you know you got that little new notification where it goes straight to voicemail,
Mhm.
come on, that's the quickest way to stay in debt is
It
not
Mhm.
face your responsibilities. Because at the end of the day, whenever you were spending whatever you got into, you knew what you were doing. So face the responsibility of paying those people back.
That's true. And let me
Mhm.
tell you something. When I started paying off my debt, I started looking at what I was spending. Like at one point in time, because I was at home by myself or I was working a lot. So I didn't come home and eat or I didn't prepare my food. So I noticed that literally in a month, I was spending between 150 to $200 eating.
Yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
and so after I looked at that, and I'm like, well, if I can spend 150 to $200 out eating, I can take that money and pay off my debt.
Ooh.
So when I flipped 'em the way I
Mhm.
was thinking, then I was like, look, let me try this. So at the time, Aunt Patsy was living with me, and so I started really
Mhm.
focusing on Joe. You remember I was bringing the food from home.
Yes.
He was
And
cooking.
docking it up, baby. He was docking
Yeah.
that thing up.
Yeah, walking through there, everybody knew that's Darnell. I smell black eyed peas and cornbread. And I started applying that and taking the money that I was eating out with and start applying towards my debt. Most of my debt was medical. So I started applying it to like doctors and I started calling my creditors. Once I realized how to read a credit report and I
My God, because if you don't
yeah,
take your time, it look like Spanish.
it be como estas.
But
Baby.
y'all know one thing that they're not doing anymore, and I'm kind of glad about this. Medical debt is no longer medical collections. That's no longer on your credit.
Part
They're
of it.
removing that from your part of it. So yeah,
Yes, yes,
that's a
yes.
good thing. Because
Yes,
a
because
lot of
most
times with medical debt, we get into situations where that's beyond our control. You know,
it
and
is.
you
And
know, so
$65,000 ain't in my control. I'm just
absolutely.
saying.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Well, I wish that I wish that was part of the situation because, like, honestly speaking, I got sued for one of my medical debts,
mhm.
and they came after my check, so I had to pay it. And
Yeah.
I was glad it cleared because it cut off my credit as well. But they should have done that 15 years ago.
I think things have just changed because when I
Yeah.
was working in the loan industry, we didn't look at the medical. We looked
Mhm.
at like car loans and different things of that nature. I do have a question because me and Darnell was talking about this the other day. one of the things that people pay the most is rent, lights.
Mhm.
Do those things go on your credit? Can you put that on your credit? Because I think that would be an asset to help raise it anyway.
Your rent, you can go through Experian. They have a and Experian is the only one that I know of that does it, but you can go through Experian and they can report your rent. Now, utilities and all of that, no, but and that's crazy to me because it doesn't report utility on your credit, but you don't pay it
It
and it
report.
goes to collection, it reports. So that's crazy to me. But yeah, your rent you can through Experian. There's a little thing you can do through that, but all the other stuff, no.
Mm.
You know, I'm reporting my cell phone bill on Experian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
You
I
can
was
do
like,
that.
yeah,
Hmm.
that joke helped me out a whole lot. That's what keeps
Yeah, it works.
me
It
going. I'm
works.
telling you.
Hmm.
You was talking about classes. I think me and Joe had this conversation, or me and Tawana had this conversation. Like, um, it will be nice. I have to agree with you on that. That we have classes in our communities that
Hmm.
teaches financial freedom. Or how to apply for credit, how to stay paying our stuff on time. And Lakeisha
Hmm.
just said, like, they have that class in Crockett
Hmm.
County. Thank God for Crockett
Hmm.
That's
County.
awesome.
Right.
That's
And
thank
I'm
you.
in Memphis, and we go out. We have to go out as part of our community services. We have to go out to schools and talk about financial literacy. But I really wish the state of Tennessee would. I wish there was like a graduation requirement
It
because
should be.
it
It
should be.
all that stuff, they knocked out a bunch of stuff. Like I remember in school, I was taking an accounting class, learning how to balance a
Yeah, I
checkbook.
did too. I did
They
too,
don't
and all the
even
stuff I
teach.
know, I learned it from school. So yeah,
Yes, they don't
yeah.
teach half
So
of that stuff. Half the kids don't even know how to write in cursive.
they can't write in cursive. They can't.
No.
Yeah,
And
So
I'm like, how
yeah.
y'all signing checks, baby? Y'all better learn.
because
Hmm.
they manuscripting their way through.
But that's
Hmm.
crazy. I can copy your manuscript, but I might not can copy your signature.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you know something, Joe? Like, even when I took business class at Humboldt High School, it was not a requirement. It was an elective.
I
And I
went into another school. I went to another school. Yeah.
I wish it was statewide, that it was a requirement to graduate, to balance a checkbook, how to write
Hmm.
a check, how to understand credit. Like, you bring people who went to school, such as Sharonda, to come in and say, "Hey, we're gonna pay you to teach the children how to be better adults when they leave here
Hmm.
with their money."
Y'all
But
be
anyway,
surprised of the 18-year-olds don't even know their social security number. Like it's crazy. Like I just feel like we got to do better
we
with
do,
that. We do. We
Mm-hmm.
do.
we do.
Hmm.
We got one more question by Jace Knight. He said, "What do I do in my 20s to be financially responsible?"
Mm.
So I think what I would say would be saving, and that's a topic because I took some notes because I it's finances is such a broad topic, covers a lot of stuff. But saving, I think, is really important as well when you're young. And I would tell anybody because I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I used to suck at savings. Like I sucked. And what made me a better saver was experience. I don't know if y'all have heard the saying, experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Being in situations where you have a flat tire or you have a dead battery and you don't have the money to get it, that is what taught me how to save. And so in your 20s, I mean, I know that you may not make a lot of money in your 20s, or maybe you do, but putting something aside is is key. Because one thing that I actually took class this week. I had some classes I had to take this week for my job, and they were saying how 50% of Americans don't even have $1,000 in their savings to cover if something happens. And that's a lot. That's half of Americans that don't have $1,000. So I think the first thing is saving, and you have to take baby steps to saving, because a lot of people can't save. Like, it's hard. Think it's one of those things, either you can do it or you
Mhm.
can't do it. And if you can do it, you do it. But if you can't, you have to baby step your way up. And that's how
Mhm.
I was able to kind of, was baby step my way up into it. And then once you get used to doing it, it becomes easier for you.
Okay. I got a question. So, what would be a good? Because some people are very analytical, so they want to, okay, give me a specific number. I know everybody's situation may be different, but something they can start off with, as far as what they're saving. What should they start off with to help build their savings?
10%.
10%.
Tied
10%.
to yourself. My
10%
God.
to yourself, 10%.
I don't know. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
speaking in tongue when you said that. She said 10%.
10%. 10%.
Jesus.
If you
I
want to
see
do more, you can, but 10%. Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people doing the envelope method. They just number.
I just started that this year. I got 2 envelopes, so we're gonna
Yeah.
see how that goes. So
They just
so far
you just
it's
number
good.
it through the month and you put back
Uh-huh.
that amount each
Yep.
day. I mean each
Yep.
check,
Each week
whatever
or
amount
each
you
check,
pick.
whatever you want to do. Yep. So I started that this year. And even with savings, I always advise people to do 2 savings accounts. One for just like your everyday savings, and one as an emergency savings.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I have a checking and a savings, but if I see $1,000 sitting in my savings, I'm
Baby.
like, oh yeah, I got $1,000. I can go buy this and that, and then next thing I know, it's gone.
Yep.
So my emergency savings, I have that at a whole nother bank, way across town. I can't see it, I can't touch it unless I physically go. So I make it to where it's uncomfortable for me to go. So I have to drive way across town, and that's only for emergency. So if something comes up, that's what that money's there for. So that helps you as well.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about that.
You know what? Then I told you when I started singing and getting money, I opened up my Venmo to use that because I don't carry that card with me all the time. So it's easier for me to like leave that money over there and I almost forget that it's over there
Mm-hmm.
until something happens and I'm like, oh, I got Venmo and let me, but it's a mind thing.
Out of
I
sight,
think
out of
for me,
mind. Mm-hmm.
it's just a mind thing. Like this money's separate.
Mm-hmm.
I can't touch this. And then think about some of you guys that work, if you get a bonus, why would you go on and spend that? Take that out of your. What I do when I get a bonus, say I get $500, I'll take the complete 500 out because that's not a normal check, and I'll leave my normal check and take the 500 out and put it somewhere else because I don't normally, and I budget my money based off what I normally have. So that kind of stuff will help. You get any kind of bonus, any kind of raise, and you've learned to live off the little that you had before you got the raise or you got the bonus, take that out.
Y'all just give me some ideas, because now I think well, the banks are closed Monday, right?
Yeah, they
It's
close
Martin
Monday.
Luther King.
Martin Luther
Yeah,
King.
yeah. So I guess I'm gonna go March. No, it'd be look, when I lived in Florida, it was warm, so you can walk the streets. Now you come down here, it's cold. You look
Yeah,
like,
Baby,
oh,
I
right
tell you.
now.
chattering.
Well, look, I'm gonna go Tuesday and open up me another savings account, and that way I won't have to see it. Then what I can do, I can take a certain amount out of my check and have it go
Mm-hmm.
to that account every week. You know,
Yeah.
I never
What
thought
makes
about
it easier for me, I just have mine automatically done. I don't have to think
Mm,
about it. I don't see it. It's gone. That's
yes,
it. Yep.
that.
yes.
That's
That's
a
so smart.
that's a good
And for you
idea.
guys that are entrepreneurs, because I was going to say something else, make sure that your business account is separate from your personal account because
Thank
that's
you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
I deal with this every day. Every day. Separate it. Separate it. Thank you so much.
Joe, ours are separate.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ours are complete separate. We don't. They don't go to neither one of our banks. Somebody give, donate, whatever. It goes into a separate whole situation because I ain't got time.
because I think it's a whole thing, like especially just talking about us, for instance, we're on here asking for sponsors for different things of that
Mm-hmm.
nature, and it goes into your personal account and your light bill need to be paid. That ain't what I gave for.
Yeah.
I gave towards your business. And so I just think people don't realize how sticky that is. And when something comes up in your business, or
It is.
say they come, because I don't know if you have a business,
They
they
can
can come and skate their business at any time, want to know where your
Yeah.
finances are, how much you have now, all of those things. And sometimes our culture don't do well in separating the two.
So, and the
Mhm.
thing of it is, if you go and you try to apply for something for the business, you don't even know how much money you made
Mm-mm.
because you got money over here, you got money over here. Like you would be surprised at the number of people that call themselves entrepreneurs or businesses that don't know. Everybody wants to have their own business, but you don't really know the ins and outs. And it's a lot with taxes and setting it up and keeping it up. It's a lot. But separate it because it also protects you in the long run when we talk about credit. Your business should always have its own social or tax ID number, EIN
Mhm.
number, just as you have your personal. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're operating your business under your personal and your business flops, well, guess what? You
Your
flop too.
person.
You flop too.
You flop too. So
Crazy.
separating that, if the business flops, well, at least I'm okay over here on my personal side. So it's so important, businesses, to make sure that you are separating those funds and make sure you have two separate things going, because that's going to be important when you go try to do taxes or when you want to apply for something or need something or whatever the case may be. That's going to be very important as well.
Yeah.
So, so Lakeisha asked a question, and I don't know what context of the question she was asking in. She was saying something about what about mortgages? I don't
I
know.
was trying to tap it, it wouldn't let me.
Yeah,
When she was
I
on
don't
the
know.
part
It
of
was
rent, I was trying to tap it, but it would not let me.
okay. So, do your mortgage payments go on your credit when you pay it on time, or
It
can
does.
you
Yeah,
verify
it
the
does.
question or re-ask the question
Yeah.
and answer?
Ask the question because I want to make sure I understand. But if that's what she's asking, if it does it report, yes, mortgage payments do report to your credit every month. Yes, it does.
I figured that did because it's like
Because you have to go through the,
long cup. Mm-hmm.
loan companies and process and all that. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I just learned something. So, you said if your child's by 13, majority of the time, their credit cards will allow you to put your child on.
hmm
You can offer them additional credit card, whatever, and it helps them
You can put
understand.
them as you can put them as an authorized signer,
Okay, authorized.
which means that it reports to their credit as well. So
God,
let's just say when they turn 18, they're showing 5 years of credit history.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
hmm
I love that. I love that. But don't now. Let
Now
me.
don't mess, and if you gonna mess it up, don't do it. Don't do
I
it.
If
think
you know you don't pay your stuff on time, don't
Don't
be
do
look,
it.
doing
If you know you don't put your babies on it. Don't do that. But if you're serious about doing that, yes, if you put them on there at 13, and like I said, that's just for some cars. Some cars will let you put them on. My son is 8. Some cars let you put an 8-year-old on there. It just depends on you. You have to ask your car company, but 13, 16, like, yeah, they can go on there.
God,
that
that's
is so smart. That
yeah.
really
Yeah.
is.
So I mean, I think with my baby, I had to put her on a secured, that way.
Give us some
You know what?
secure. Do you
I
have
had
secure?
I had a I had a client. She put her daughter on it, but she didn't tell her that she was on it. She just put it on there because she was like, if I tell her she on this card,
She gonna try to use it.
she gonna use it and she gonna run it up. So she just didn't even tell her. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
me and my baby was talking the other day, and she was like, Uncle, I thought I had my phone on vibrate. I don't know what's going on. Hope everything is.
Is it Jesus?
Um, no, it's not Jesus.
Oh, it's Jesus.
It, it probably Jesus. Nah, it's my sister. Um, my daughter was talking, and she was like, you used to, tell me about saving and stuff like that. I said, yeah, because I want you to be, free compared to where I was at. I said, here I am.
hmm
At the time, I think I was at 40 at the time with the conversation about this part. And I
Yeah.
said, I don't want you to wait till you're 40 and trying to clean up mess that you did from 18 up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please don't do that,
Um,
baby. Don't do
so it's like, But this is what she said. She tickled me. She's like, you know what I did with all my money? I said, I know what you did with it. She's like, what? Eat? That's all
Yeah.
she want to do. It's like,
Yeah. It's all,
I
yeah.
come home, there'll be boxes of pizzas and just her. Like, what was you doing? Did you have at my house? Like, please tell me. I'm having the same conversation with Marlon. I'm like, look, and just today, I was like, man, I'm like, you got $20. I'm like, there's no reason to spend up your whole 20. Learn how to put some money back. And like for years, like before the surgery, I had to like Sharonda was talking about looking to that account and you see like $2,000 and $3,000 in that account. And you be like, oh, I ain't broke because I got $3,000 in that account.
Burn it, just burn it.
I had to teach myself, like, don't touch it. Now, since I know better, I'm gonna put it in a private account where I don't see it at all. And I really won't be looking at it. But I had to
Ooh,
teach myself. And I remember, like, I had, you know how you got, I think it was KK. I had left something open and she came to me. She's like, well, can you get this and can you get that? I said, no. She's like, why? I said, I'm broke. She's like, no, you're not, because I just saw your bank account. I'm like, what you mean you see my bank account? I
It's
just
like my son.
yeah.
My son, he was like, he'll ask me for something, and I said, "You must think money grow on trees." And he was like, "No, but money is made out of trees, so you just go." I'm like,
smart, baby,
"Really,
smart.
really?" So
Yeah.
my son, he'll spend every dollar he got on my daughter. She saves her money. She not, but he was spend. So I'm like, I got to work on you because these little $2, you just
It be y'all
you
don't
rent.
understand. It be burning.
Yeah,
It be burning when it's in your pocket.
My
yeah.
look, I'll be thinking about now. What hot wings can I go buy?
Baby, my fire done went out, child. My old age, that fire is out, baby. It's all cold. I can't do nothing. I can't. Because at the end of the day, especially moving, I think moving away from family really caused me to be financially in order because I don't have anybody to call and be
Yeah.
like, oh, my license out, I'm coming over your house, baby. I'm be in North Carolina cold. You hear me?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. No,
And
we
I
ain't got
think
time.
being, knowing that we have to be independent, it makes us better savers as well because we know we don't have anybody to call. Like it's just us. So we have to, we all we got. So,
That part.
that's it. So yeah.
Man, this is good. This is a good conversation. I think that it need to be had more often. And I know like for most of us it's not the juiciest of talk. It's like a conversation that kind of hit home to make you face reality and put that mirror in your face. And I see a lot of older people who did not know better and now they're in their 60s and they trying to figure out how to live. Like we didn't know anything
Yeah.
about 401ks or some of the other stuff
Hmm.
that's out there. I think like I said, I was cleaning up at work or doing some of the work and it came across a statement about not just 401k, because they said 401k could be taxable, right? And it
Hmm.
was talking about another plan that is not taxable. I'm like, why I never heard about this? You know, if I can draw my money out, or let's talk about life insurance. You know,
Yes.
did
Yes.
not know I can get life insurance and build up, and then I can borrow against it.
Cash value. Hmm.
Yeah, did not know that. Like,
I hurts my feelings because a lot of older people get these policies and they don't know at a certain age it's not even the same value. And we ran into that with my grandfather because he lived a long time, and so they didn't go renew the loan to I mean the insurance to make sure that what they were supposed to be giving and you done paid in all this money and you only cash out $1,000 and it was supposed to be a few thousand.
Hmm.
So you
I,
got to pay attention to that stuff. After a certain age, you need to go back and regroup your insurance because maybe the insurance didn't expect you to live past 70, but here you are 89. You need to go
Yeah.
back and look at your policy.
Yeah.
it's a shame, like how like the the predatory practices that happen with the insurance companies and so many other things. Like here you are paying for $10,000 and then tell you it's decreasing. I heard stories like that. I didn't know that happened to you all, but it's really it's sad, and you got to watch. And I'm just learning too, because difference between whole life and this life and everybody life.
Yeah.
All God's
Tell me
children
about
Like,
it.
lives.
It's a
Now,
lot.
yeah, Definitely so.
Yes, but it happens a lot, and they pay way more than they're even. You got a $10,000 policy, baby. If you don't live tonight, then you've been paying every month, so you don't pay it over that. Really,
Yeah,
it's a lot into it. It's a lot into it. I just think we need to do a better job of paying attention, so we don't have to do no GoFundMe funds.
yeah, that's true. GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I'm doing
Hmm
GoFundMe for this business.
Mhm.
Do a GoFundMe for this business. We need to get some stuff. So, Sharonda, can you give us pointers? We almost at a hour mark. What are some other pointers that you can give to us that can help us out?
Well, let's talk about saving money a little bit because at the beginning of the year, and I do this a couple times a year. I look for ways to try to save money. And I know you were talking about insurance. All of us, I hope we do have auto insurance. If you have a house, you have homeowners insurance. Call those companies. See about because a lot of us we just pay insurance and we don't really compare prices.
hmm
Yeah.
How many times do we just pay insurance? We just pay. But do we ever compare prices to see, you know, is this company, I've been with this company for 5 years. What is this company over here? Can this company beat that? And insurance, of course, are not going to tell us, oh, well, we can do this for you. So compare those policies of
hmm
each year because insurance can go up or down. So try to compare those, save you a little bit of money. Also, those subscriptions, Netflix, Hulu, Sirius XM, y'all, they killed me. And I'm looking at my account, I got subscriptions left and right that I don't even watch. So keeping a better eye on our money, I think is you were talking about food. For lunch, I probably spend about $10 a day, which is $50 a week, which is $200 a month, which is $2,400 a year going
hmm
out to eat.
hmm It's easy to do.
Things like that. Like just putting it on paper and looking at it, it brings it into a different perspective when we're writing it down and we're looking at it. So stuff like that, that's what, think about what I could have done with $2,400 besides
Mhm.
eating.
Look,
Yeah,
you got me thinking over here. Like,
because with
Yeah.
Jesus, with your Series XM, for those of you that have Series
Yeah.
XM,
Baby, I
after
use it
your
6 months. I
trial,
use them the trial period. I call them right back.
you call it right back.
Rerun
Get
me,
back on that trial period,
rerun me
baby.
that special. Rerun it.
look,
Yep.
Stuff like yeah.
I love Sirius FM, and
hmm
when my finances change, I call them and say, "Look, I can't
Yeah.
afford this.
I can't
I
afford this,
can't."
and they gonna tell you, okay, well, $2
We
a
put
month. Okay.
try the 6.99.
hmm
That'd be fine.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm back paying $4.99. Bless God.
Yep.
And I'm
Glory.
now, I don't
Yep.
mind patronizing if I have it, but like right now,
Yeah.
things are tighter than it was, a couple months
Oh
ago.
yeah.
So I have to make some adjustments. And you talking about the subscriptions? I had some Google subscriptions.
hmm
I had to go through there, and I did not know this. Like
Yeah.
some of those apps will allow you to pause them to whenever you want to start it back up.
hmm
So it cancels it out until you want to like, hey, I want to start up. And I'm like, when they start doing this, did not
hmm
know. And another thing I found out too, like Sharonda, when I became a student, like a lot of those companies, like Hulu, some of them, like even with Amazon Prime, when you're a student, you can get student discount and it knocks it like seriously down.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I was like, oh, there's some benefits in this mug. I promise you.
Even with credit
Mhm.
cards, if you all have, if you have credit card debt, because interest rates are going up, and I've heard a lot of people say it seems like I'm paying a payment, but my balance isn't going anywhere. If
Mhm.
you're paying minimum, it's not because interest rates are constantly going up.
Yes.
They're forecasting them to go up two more times during the year, maybe more than that. So as long as interest rates keep going up, you're never going to be able to pay it off if you're making minimum payments. Call those car companies, ask them about reducing rates. They'll do it. They'll do it.
Nothing
I've
called me.
I've done it. I've done it for people. Um, if you're having a hard time, see what payment plans they offer you. I was working with someone, and they were just saying they just couldn't. They couldn't make the. Seems like they couldn't. They're paying $150 a month on a card, one going down. I called. They were able to get it on a payment plan, paying $70 a month, no interest until the card is paid off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, call. The only thing they can tell you is just a no. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, they're going to tell you yes because there's so many people they can't pay it and not going to pay it. So
if you would at least,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Say it again, Joe. Your phone broke up.
I said if you would at least pay it, they'll work with you. And that's another
Yep.
thing. Like when I work with a financial company and you know, got into bad debt, all we needed you to come in and have a conversation with us. Most of the time, we had a solution to get you paid off, but you want to duck and dodge. And back in the day, we used to have to go to people's houses, baby. They sitting in the house and we can't go in, and they just watching us at the door. You know you owe us money.
I'm
Come
gonna
in there.
say this, Joe. Like, and maybe your situation was different, but for me, there were times when I got loans. They didn't share that information with me.
Mm,
Let's be honest. A lot of us not gonna read the small print.
mm-hmm,
We just have to get that loan, and part of the agreement is if you have any issues, please contact us. We're gonna work with you with your payments.
mm-hmm,
No one ever said that. It's like, this is what you have to pay. This is what we're going to expect. And then when you get in the bind, you kind of like, I'm so afraid to say, hey, I ain't got the money right now. I know I made
mm-hmm,
a promise, but life has happened, you know.
mm-hmm.
So like that might be good for, now that you're saying that, that creditors tell us that. Because some of them not telling us that. I'm telling you,
Yeah. And they don't because they want
They
you, they
don't.
want to make sure
Yeah.
that you come in.
Mhm.
So they try to use fear tactics, but I found that when I built relationship with my customers, it was easier for them to call me. And by the time they call, I'm like, listen, if you pay me $50, that'll get you totally current. We could renew this loan and it'll get you in the current balance.
Ooh,
You know, those things like that, you know, call me. You don't know that you actually have money accruing. I know you can't pay it right now. You have a bill due. You got $250 sitting here. You're in bad debt. If you come in, give me 50, I give you 300 back. It's gonna start your loan over, but it's gonna clear and wipe and clear off your credit, and you can start over again. Those are the things, the conversations. But if you don't call me and you bad debt and you ducking and dodging me, by the time you come in and have that conversation, I'm just gonna be conversating with you about paying it. I'm not gonna try to reestablish you because your establishment was already rocky. So it just depends on how much relationship that you know what I'm saying, how you come. It's all about how you come. What the old folks said, it ain't what you said, it's how you said it.
how you said it, yeah, yeah. I think, like I said earlier, this is a great conversation. I just want to kill, as a church term, those curses. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
the only way we gonna really kill those curses is with information and applying that which we learn. And so, having Sharonda on here is not gonna really cover everything. It's like so much got to be talked about, but at least the
Mm-hmm.
conversation is being had. And I just hope those of you that are on here is hearing this. How to build credit and understanding debt income ratio and all of that type of stuff. Even though she didn't cover in depth about that, I don't think she mind if you inbox her and she try to give the best information.
No, I
Um,
don't mind at all.
yeah. So if you looking for her and you want to inbox her now, fellas, don't be hollering at my cousin now. Don't be doing that. It ain't
Baby.
this about, she's a beautiful woman, but it ain't what this about. It's about your finances, your credit. So hit her up, ask a necessary question, and that way you can work yourself out of debt, and that way you can build legacy, financial legacy for you and your family, so they can have something to live off of. I think I don't want to leave my family in debt once I'm gone. Now, even though I'm
Mm-mm.
planning on living to 114 with my right mind, so when I leave here, I don't want to leave them in a bad situation, and I want them to know better. And I want my listeners to know better. And that's why we had her on here. We starting a new year. in a new way, doing something different. You hear me? My bishop said this all the time, almost every Sunday. He said, you cannot expect new outcomes doing the old thing. And he
Come
said
on,
it
this
in a
lunatic.
funny way.
Come on, Bishop.
Yes, sir. He said, if you shout on one leg, next time shout on the other leg.
Because that one leg gonna
Slide
get
into the left.
tired.
This time,
Woo.
slide into the right. So you got to do something different. And that's what we're trying to do this year, 2023. I know she was talking about the interest rate and stuff going up. It's how we apply ourselves even in tough times. And we might have to tighten up our belt more, but I think we can make it. With the information that's been given. So, Sharonda, we want to say thank you for being part of our show.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
for
gonna have to
having
come
me.
back
Thank
on
you.
here. We're gonna talk about money
Absolutely.
next time. We're gonna talk about other stuff when you come back on here because you just a well of wealth.
She a plethora.
Yeah. And just imagine, y'all, this is the little girl I remember growing up with pigtails. Now look at her.
Oh now.
Look, she always been bright. She was young and smart.
Thank you.
Like she was. I used to call her Rudy.
That was my nickname, Rudy.
Rudy.
Come on, you thought you must have been Bud.
I must
You
have
must have been Bud.
Oh.
If she was Rudy, you must have been Bud.
Look, when I was growing up, I wanted to be, what was the brother name?
Theo.
Yeah, I wanted to be Theo. It was a girl name. I ain't gonna call her name because she's married now. But I was trying to be her Theo. I promise you I was. So yeah. So it is what it is. Great conversation on tonight. And like I said, I apologize for not having our advertisement on here. We have some sound issues. There was some static and going on with that. But I promise you to my people we shouting out, we will have you on here next week. We're gonna straighten out those sound issues. But for those who would like to sponsor, you can. Yes, sir. You can sponsor. We have platinum, gold, silver, and bronze. We have $60 per month, $40 per month, $20 per month, and $10 per month. If you see the HTTPS on there, you can hit that and sign up. We do not see anything. Everything goes straight to the bank. And there's also a spot on there for those of you who just say, I just want to give a certain amount. You can do just that one-time gift, or you can do a monthly gift, like I said. And what we will do, we will shout you out for sponsoring us and being a partner with the Conversation Podcast. To let you know, Jonisha kind of hit it on last week. We had to change our name for legal reasons. You'd be surprised with people with the same names with their companies and with their podcasting and things like that. So we are the Conversation Podcast with the K.
Come on.
Same content.
We be kicking that.
We be kicking it.
Yes, sir.
Who we are. So we had to change it for that reason. We own the name, the Conversation Podcast with the K. And soon we're gonna be rolling out our website, getting all that set up. About everything, how everything is moving forward. I always say, I just remember when we first started in the dark living room with the lamp light.
Come on, lamp.
We do appreciate you all for tuning in and joining in this conversation. I want to say thank you again to Miss Sharonda Williams.
You got to find that button.
Well, hold on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, let me turn it up first. If I want to. Let me see. I'm about to write it on there, clap.
Right, please, label.
Yeah, so do it like that. So this has been a great conversation, and we want to invite you all back to the podcast. We are on here every second and fourth Sunday at 7 p.m. and every Friday at 7 p.m. as well. And so y'all, we live. And also next month, we're doing our first live show, February the 3rd at New Abundant Life Church, 7 p.m. And our special guest is Apostle Derek Emerson. We're going to be talking about him and his change, him taking the leadership of the church that his father started and a whole lot of other stuff. Y'all, it's going to be lit. We're going to have music and everything like that. So, hey, join us. We're going to give you more information on that. And I'm excited about this because we're doing big things for a small company.
Come on, because big things come in what? Little packages.
It do. So Hey, y'all, don't sleep on Rare Image in the Conversation Podcast and the Vision Radio. Please tune in on Live 365 for Vision Radio. Check us out. We got music on there, different artists, quartet to choir to praise and
Contemporary, a
worship,
little hip hop, holy hip hop.
holy hip hop, holy hip hop. One time I was turning a radio station. I was like, hold up, wait, man. I got to dancing too much because I was like, oh, this is church music. Lord mercy. It was definitely good. Look, we love you all. Joe, you want anything to say?
I don't have anything to say. Blessings to you guys. We will be doing the giveaway next time.
Next month.
Next month.
Next month we'll be doing a giveaway. So y'all need to tune in. And I wonder if you don't hear, you can't win no more.
You can't win no more, baby. You win every time you're up on here.
Lord Jesus, she won 2 nice gifts. So yeah, it's gonna be decent. Sharonda, anything you want to say before we go?
Well, thank you guys for having me. And again, if you have any questions, if y'all think of something or y'all was too shy to ask, just inbox me and I'll be more than happy to help you and give you what I know.
All right. Look, we love you guys, and we will see you again next Friday. Hold on, find the thing. Jesus, where's that, Joe? I hope I didn't erase it.
Where?
Oh, okay, here you go. Okay, and it worded different. Look, we love you all, good people, and we will see you out. We'll see you next Friday. Peace out. I love y'all. God bless.
Bye.